Hello, hello, what's up, guys? You're watching the Couch Casuals, and I'm your host, Robert Dylan Vasquez. We're out here for UFC 310, and I'm with my lovely, sexy, handsome co-host.
What's up, gang? It's your boy Kyle Diorio, and we got UFC 310 pre-show coming at you from Las Vegas, Nevada. Not us, but
Yeah.
UFC 310 is in Las Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena, dude?
T-Mobile Arena.
So, when they go to Las Vegas, they only have the most, impactful card. You know, what could the main event possibly be?
It's going to be huge.
It's gotta be the biggest main event of the year.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Who is it?
Well, I forgot his name, but he's fighting Shavkat, right? That's the main event, isn't it? Remember the toe?
No, what?
What?
Who? He who can't be named because nobody remembers his name.
Who remembers his name, right?
That's so unfortunate, and it's so ironic. Because you would want, with a nickname, remember the name, hey, I'm fighting, I'm going to give you a memorable performance.
Nope. Remember the decision.
Remember the decision. He's out, though.
Yeah, he's been out. What's our main event?
So, honestly, I think the last time that this cat main evented, I don't think we did a show.
No, because it was 301.
301 didn't happen. It didn't exist.
Anytime you got Alexandre Pantoja in the main event.
Well, the past one time.
The past one time.
Now we're giving him some respect. Only because this card, you said it, I think, last time, if not, before the show. This is a hidden banger. This is hidden bangers.
If you're just a casual and you look at the poster and you just see Alexander Pantoja versus Kai Asakura, you're maybe I don't know about that. I don't know those guys.
Huh?
But then if you dig deep, there's big names up and down the whole night, the whole day.
Right.
You have former big names in the early prelims. You have a former champion in the early prelims.
How the mighty have fallen, dude.
It's crazy.
So, I think we should get into it with some early prelim shout-outs. Who do we have? You looking at the card right now?
Yeah, I got it pulled up. In the early prelims, we have Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. I believe that was meant for last pay-per-view, wasn't it?
It was scheduled for last pay-per-view.
We talked about it last time, and it got changed. You have Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin.
Nice.
You have Clay Guida, old as hell, fighting Chase Hooper.
Young as hell.
10-year-old. I know.
Yeah.
So that's your early prelims. And then if we move into the normal prelims, we got recent former champion Aljamain Sterling versus Movsar Evloev at featherweight. We got a local favorite, Brian Battle.
Dude, shout out to Brian Battle, dude.
Randy Brown. That fight should be on the main card.
Brian Battle?
Brian Battle should be on the main card.
He's not getting that NC love, bruh. He's in Vegas.
He's not, man. But he brings the war every time he's in that cage.
I thought you were about to say something else.
What do you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Brian Battle. He brings the boom.
He brings the boom.
The boom.
He does. He brings the boom.
He does bring the boom. No pun intended. Brian Pooh Bear Battle, I think is his name.
And Pooh Bear. It's a great nickname versus Randy Rude Boy. So we got Pooh Boy and Rude Boy.
Yeah.
Vicente Luque is fighting
Nick Diaz,
right? No.
Hey guys, buy my gloves. Smoke weed every day.
Nick Diaz is out.
Nobody wants your signed gloves, Nick.
You're fighting Thimba Garimbo. Thimba Garimbo has replaced Nick Diaz in this fight.
Makes more sense, apparently. That's what Vicente Luque said. He said from a money aspect, of course, all eyes on Nick Diaz. But he's like, rankings-wise, fight-wise, career-wise, like this fight makes more sense than Nick Diaz, which for sure, 100%. But
fair, yeah.
I just said it earlier. Oh, God. And I'll say it again. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And I don't know. Yeah. That's TBD on old Nicky Diaz, but
we don't know what's going to happen with him.
Dude, he's my favorite fighter of all time. Can I just get one more? Can I not see him go out the way he went out in Robbie Lawler? Please. Robbie Lawler 2.
That was an ugly fight.
Can I get one more? As a true Nick Diaz fan, as a stan, I got his signed nunchucks. I'm not buying the gloves. I'm not.
Why?
No.
Your boy needs your support right now.
He's got OnlyFans. He has OnlyFans.
What's he doing on there?
Training sessions. You get to see his workouts and stuff.
Naked training sessions with Nick Diaz.
I don't actually know if it's naked. I don't subscribe. I've never got OnlyFans.
Oh, you're going to subscribe.
Anyways, do you think this fight makes more sense for Vicente, right?
Sure. I don't know who the hell Thimba Garimbo is, though.
He's got to be right there with Vicente. I don't know if he's in the rankings.
Let's look at. He's not ranked.
So neither is Nick Diaz.
Right.
So
and if Thimba Garimbo is on a 4-fight winning streak against the likes of Sato.
Remember the toe?
Pete Rodriguez.
P-Rod?
Ramiz Brahimaj.
It's probably Ramiz.
And he did beat Nico Price recently, but Nico Price is the most incredibly hit or miss fighter I've ever seen.
He is literally heads or tails any given night.
You never know what you're going to get with that guy.
Ever.
Yeah. But that's not even the featured prelim. The featured prelim is Dominic Reyes and Anthony Smith.
I think, to be honest, as it should be. As it should
be. That is a fine spot for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about some of the other fights not being where they should. Aljamain should probably be on the main card.
You think so?
I think so.
He actually, I think he came out, and I can't verbatim quote, or I can't quote him verbatim. He was like, yeah, I think they made a mistake, and I think they're going to realize they made a mistake by not putting my fight on the main card. I'm going to give them a performance where they're, like, regretful about that decision. And I'm like, when have you ever? You choked out Corey Sandhagen. You beat up Marab. What, wrestle-fucked him? No. He submitted, not Marab.
He never fought Marab. You talking about Peter Yan?
Peter Yan. Sorry. Didn't mean to get the foreigners mixed up. But Peter Yan got the knee disqualification in the first fight. Came back and showed him, like, okay, I was ready for him this time.
Yeah, just backpacked him the whole fight.
Cool. Who's the last person Aljo knocked out?
I don't know.
Who's the last time he had an opponent that he gave a stunning performance? Like, oh my God. He rides backpack until he gets a submission, which is fine. You know I don't like a wrestle fuck. I like when they actually go for submissions and finish the fight. He's not gonna... What's he gonna do? Spinning wheel kick? Flying knee?
Sterling has, as far as I'm digging into his history in the UFC,
right?
And he has one KO/TKO win. Do you know who it's against? No, he has two. One was in 2014 though, so we're not really worried about the 2014 one.
Mm-hmm.
You know who his last KO/TKO victory was against?
No.
EJ One Shoulder Dillashaw.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then before that, until then, it was 2014.
Have you seen him in that one clip on whatever podcast that is? Have you seen the difference between his shoulders? They're like explaining, like, all right, so how bad is the shoulder? He goes, you see this one? And then he goes, all right, this one?
It's still fucked.
Dude, he's like, I can never use it again.
I mean, you know what? No, pull out of the fight. get healthy and take one real chance at it. Because if that was going to be your last shot at the belt anyway,
sure,
like just pull out. You're not winning that fight.
Maybe you can't afford to. Maybe you need that. Maybe you need that show money, and you might not need the win money, but you do need that show money.
That's fair.
Got to pay your taxes, Kyle. Got to pay your taxes on your cars, your house,
your everything, man.
So,
but yeah, I think Brian Battle and Randy Brown should be on the main card. And I'll tell you which. When we get into the main card, I'll pick a fight I think it should replace. But other than that, are you ready for the main card?
Oh, absolutely.
You got anything else to say about the prelims?
No. I will be watching from start to finish, which is rare for me. I usually just catch the main card.
This is a lot.
Maybe
a lot of good stuff.
Maybe the main card, like the fight before that, the featured prelim. But I will be watching from start to finish this time.
Word. All right, so we're going into the main card. We're having Nate the Train Landwehr versus Duho Choi. Nate Landwehr is always entertaining in his fights.
Absolutely.
I could easily see Brian Battle being in this slot, though.
You're choosing this one?
Could be. I would choose this one or the next one. Either one of those two, you could slot Brian Battle into.
All right. Hang on. Let's get into the couple other ones before we have this discussion. Let's focus on this one. Nate the Train Landwehr.
Nate the Train.
I got him all day. Win or lose, I will die on this hill. He will one of
go to war.
Right. I don't really have anything negative to say about his opponent. I just know that I like Nate. I like him.
I like Nate too. I'm sticking with Nate. I don't know much about Duho Choi.
It's Choi.
He doesn't have a great lead-up record at the moment.
What's his nickname?
Korean Superboy.
So he had a lot of hype on him. Then he got beat by Charles Air Jourdain, the Canadian. Got knocked out, I think.
And when you get in there with some of these people that like Nate Landwehr, like maybe he's not the most technical or skilled opponent, but like this was one of those like dirty fights where it's like, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to get bloodied up.
You're not going to put him away with one shot. Duho Choi, dude, the Korean Superboy, he's nice with it. He is. He's not putting the Train away with one shot.
The Train. Nate the Train.
He's going to bring it. And so I think we see a 3-round war, honestly. A back and forth.
I could see that. I don't necessarily see someone going to sleep. Maybe like a TKO. Maybe someone gets caught and then it's just like...
Sure.
I don't think anyone just gets straight up starched, but definitely going with Nate. Nate Landwehr.
Same. So we're joining forces early.
We're joining forces currently. We're tied up. You ready for the next one?
Absolutely.
Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie. This is probably my number one pick to replace. Put Brian Battle on the card. And honestly, nothing against Bryce Mitchell.
It's all on Kron.
Kron Gracie doesn't look like he gives a shit when he's in the cage. Or at least the last fight I remember.
A lot of people would mistake that for stoicism. But you and I see through the facade of like, you're butt scooting?
You're butt scooting.
You're butt scooting?
He's 0-2 in the UFC.
He's not great. But
why is he on the main card? Because of his last name.
Sure. He has some appeal. He fights like a Diaz when he doesn't do that jiu-jitsu stuff. And by that, I mean all respect. He's a punching bag. He'll go forward, boom, 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 boom. And then, all right, I'm still here. Dude, you don't have one knockout punch power. You don't throw volume punches. You have amazing jiu-jitsu. So does Bryce Mitchell, though.
Yeah, so this one actually could be a fun one to watch if they just like get into some really intense jujitsu exchanges.
Sure.
That'd be kind of neat.
Bryce Mitchell's boxing is underrated, though. If you watch
Yeah.
him versus Ilia Topuria back, Bryce has some nice slips, dude.
It could be a situation where neither of them want to do jujitsu or go to the ground. You know how sometimes the wrestle heavy guys will negate each other and just stand.
Right.
You could see that here. But like Kron has just not impressed me in the UFC. He just doesn't seem like he cares to be in there.
Sure.
I'm going to Bryce Mitchell.
Same. I would make it suspenseful, and you know, like, I love when we differ, like when we go against each other for bragging rights. But
when it makes sense, yeah.
You can only be so much of a casual. You watch one Ryan Hall performance, you watch one Kron Gracie performance, and you're just kind of like,
That's all you're doing to do. You're just gonna scoot on your butt.
Or Imanari roll, or throw the helmet.
Imanari roll, yeah. Bryce Mitchell is the biggest favorite on the entire main card at
Is he?
minus 750.
Ugh. Don't call it a comeback, motherfuckers.
Bryce Mitchell, he's gonna get his camo pants. he's gonna walk out there and
he's gonna do his thing.
I think he wins on the feet. I kind of feel like it's going to be one of those situations where they negate each other on the ground and just whatever happens.
Kron might be a little better on the ground, but Bryce Mitchell
probably accurate.
Bryce Mitchell, he has one of the 2 or 3 twisters in UFC history.
Yeah.
And you know where he learned his jiu-jitsu? YouTube.
No. Really?
YouTube. Eddie Bravo, 10th Planet on YouTube.
Who did he train? Like, who did he practice?
He's got a gym in Arkansas that he goes to, but as far as like drilling and training, he's like, nah, I saw it on YouTube. I was looking up flat Earth on YouTube, and
Eddie Bravo.
shout out to Arkansas. There ain't nothing like, dude. You think he brings the Bible again?
Of course he does. He's a holy warrior, dude. He's a crusader.
He's a fucking soldier of God, dude.
He is a soldier of God.
You're gonna sit there as a
Kron Gracie,
dude. You're gonna sit there at home and you think that Kron has a chance against a soldier of God?
No,
not at all. I got Bryce Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell and Yoel Romero should make a tag team. That would be insane.
Sure. I don't know if they would get along.
No, they probably hate each other.
Well, but yeah, dude. Bryce Mitchell School of Jiu-Jitsu in Flat Earth. Check him out, dude. It's
a great place.
What's next, dude? What's next?
We're getting into some interesting matchups. Number 2 and number 3 heavyweights, Cyril Gane and Alexander Volkov, going into it. Is this Cyril Gane's first fight since his John Jones loss? I think it is. No,
he beat the fuck out of Tai Tuivasa, didn't he?
That was. He beat Tuivasa right before the title fight. He beat Sergey Spivak.
Who the fuck is
last? The polar bear.
But that was Alexander Volkov's last victory, right?
No, that's Cyril Gane's last victory in 2023. So it's been a little over a year since we've seen Cyril Gane.
Okay, so when was Alexander Volkov? What was his? Sergey Pavlovich, right?
That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm having some internet issues. I think it is Pavlovich. I think he pieced Pavlovich up.
He pieced him up,
Pavlovich got really upset.
They were friends.
Pushed him or something.
They were friends. And he's like,
I don't know what happened.
Sorry, I had to beat your ass, dude.
Sorry, I had to fucking put it on you, but I did. I think this is a pretty fun heavyweight fight. It's not gonna be your typical heavyweight fight you see lower on the card. It's like a big dude.
Sure.
These are a couple of your how they always talk about the next level of heavyweight. These are two guys that are representing that new wave of heavyweight.
Very technical,
highly skilled. Volkov hasn't lost since he fought the reigning interim or the reigning It's not interim. What is Tom Aspinall's title called? Is it interim?
The placeholder?
The placeholder title? The reigning.
It would be the interim, but that implies that he's next for the real champ, who is John Jones.
It would also imply that John is inactive, right?
Right.
Which now he is officially active because he fought
the old guy.
But either way, that's not the point of the video. I was just trying to just,
Sure.
That was Alexander Volkov.
Damn, you're throwing heat at JJ?
No.
You're throwing heat at John Jones? You think he's ducking Tom Aspinall? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think. You know what? I don't think. I think they're working on it.
What do you think John's asking number is? Just as this little side. We'll get back to it. As a little side, what do you think John's asking number is?
I think he wants at least $20 million.
At least $20 million.
Minimum. And I think you give it to him.
You have to.
This is a big fight.
This is his last fight. Come on.
This is the heavyweight fight everybody wants. Anywho, how much do you think? 20 mil?
At least 20. Like you said, at least 20. Ciryl Gane, very good technical. He's not gonna do to Volkov what he did to Tai Tuivasa. He's not.
No. I mean, those damn upper kicks to the sternum were just some of the grossest, nastiest things the most painful things I've seen in the UFC.
You can feel it, dude.
Yeah, this is going to be a technical one. It could borderline be potentially boring if they get, when you get two super technical guys in there.
If it's too much of a chess match, 100%.
This is like the first one where I'm really torn on who I choose here. Who are you leaning, or have you made a choice?
Ciryl Gane.
Ciryl Gane?
Clinch and pray. He's not standing with Volkov, but he doesn't have the attributes to wrestle. He's like top 30 in the world in FIFA. He's not even training like he's not even training like he should be. And that's why John was like, you don't think I'm going to beat this guy? All he does is play video games and practice his stand-up. You think I'm not going to just take this guy down and fuck him? Sorry. Go ahead.
Russell fuck him? Ciryl Gane
wrestle. Put wrestle before it.
Such an athletic freak, I guess, because you're right. He doesn't train that much. He's just a massive, jacked, technical kickboxer.
Sure.
I'm sticking with, I think I go Ciryl Gane here too. But I wouldn't be like overly surprised if Alexander Volkov pulled it out somehow. Ciryl Gane's only losses are in title fights?
Yeah. Francis beat him up, dude.
Francis with the knee braces just held him down somehow. Yeah, I'm going Ciryl Gane. This is a guy, if he really did work a little bit on his whole aspects of his game, could be.
Oh, if he just worked on his game at all, sure. Which a lot of people are like, don't be so hard on Ciryl. His first couple wins in the UFC were by submission. All right, cool. That means your jiu-jitsu is up to par. You have to work on your offensive wrestling, your defensive wrestling.
At least defensive.
Jiu-jitsu is like, come here. Hey, you want to wrestle? Come here. I'm going to trap you in something. But when their offensive wrestling overpowers your defensive jiu-jitsu, you're going to be on your back the whole time. Or you're going to get finished. So I got Ciryl.
I got Ciryl as well.
That's shout out to Volkov, though. He gives really good performances. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of feinting. I don't know if it's...
Yeah.
I don't know. But like you said, if it gets too technical, people will start to boo. They are in Vegas.
Yeah, they want knockouts. They want blood.
They're going to get it. They're going to get it with the train. They're going to get it with the train. But
you're getting it with the train.
That's setting a precedent early.
If you're sitting there early enough, your prelims are going to be kind of nasty, I believe. But
sure.
You may take a break here halfway through. I'm not even saying this is going to be a bad fight. It just could be like one of those ones that the fans will boo.
Go grab a
The
drink.
Trump fans.
Go grab a drink. Go to the bathroom. Go snack on something. It has the capabilities. Yeah.
You ready for the co-main event?
Please.
We are moving into a very important welterweight fight. The guy that was supposed to challenge for the title tonight, Shavkat Rakhmonov, is fighting up-and-coming welterweight
CCMMA favorite.
CCMMA favorite, Ian Machado Gary.
Damn. Dude, look at the seriousness in this kid's eyes. The seriousness in his eyes, dude. And I'm talking about Gary, not Shavkat, because I'm not being like this. I don't think you can see Shavkat's eyes.
Yeah, his are closed in that picture.
So what do you have to say about Bilal's pullout before we even get into the fight?
I mean, I'll put the jokes aside when it comes to him. The toe looks absolutely disgusting. The toe injury, whatever, it's swelled up. It's like a mini balloon. And it's like one of his little toes, too. It's not a big toe.
It's the index toe, right?
Yeah, it's gross. I can't imagine fighting on that is fun or...
Now, we have new technology. We have the capabilities to pull it up, but for you, our friends, our fans, I'll let you do your own research. I'm not pulling that shit up. It looks gross. I showed it to Kyle. He goes, ugh.
If you want to see it, just Google it.
Oh, God. Are you pulling it up right now?
Bilal Muhammad's toe.
Oh, dude.
It's bad.
Don't do it, dude. Don't look at it, Kyle. Save yourself.
So
Save yourself, dude.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pull this thing up, but if you want to see it, pull it up. He pulls out. He's supposed to main event this card. Now we've got Shavkat and.
Did they say what it was?
Machado,
real quick.
Gary.
Did they say what it was? It was staph or no? Broken?
I thought so. I thought it was like an infection or something.
Ugh. He's been training with Habib and Islam and all the Dagestani boys.
It was an infection.
And when it came out that it was an infection, everybody was like, fucking dirty ass gym, fucking dirty Dagestanis. And it was like, whoa, dude, chill.
Someone said should have fought Kamaru Usman. He'll just foot stomp you about 20 times and it'll get all that infection out. Just pop it.
Pop it, dude.
So gross.
I have a lot of admiration. Pause. I have a lot of admiration for Ian Machado Gary. He did not have to take this fight. When you have 18-0, right? 18-0?
Which one?
Shavkat. Because Gary is 15-0. It's 18-0?
Shavkat is 18-0.
With 18 finishes. Dude, he beat my old coach.
Yeah, Shavkat is not a guy to take lightly.
And when you're only 15-0, you can't shy away from this. Like, you have to lean into it. And he didn't have to. He could have just sat on the sidelines like he usually does. And sorry, that was mean. That was a C chair joke for you viewers at home.
Yeah.
He didn't have to sit on the sidelines. He could have just been like, or he didn't have to fight. That's what I'm saying. He could have sat on the sidelines. He could have waited he could have fought Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
Who is now fighting Colby Covington, which I'm very excited about. But hats off to him, dude. I know we make fun of him a lot of the time. That's just us being casuals and trolly dickheads. But, well, me. I'm speaking for me, not Kyle.
We shit on this one for sure.
I respect him for taking the matchup. Go ahead and You can give me whatever analysis you want, and you can make your pick, and I'll go after you.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely a fight he had to take at some point. If the higher you get, you're going to have to take this kind of fight at some point in your career.
Sure.
If you want to make it to the title. Or, this dude could have been the next. He could have been holding the title, a few months down the line. So you're inevitably going to have to fight him. Ian Machado Gary is undefeated, but his last few wins have not been as impressive.
I'm going to interrupt you. Who were the last 3 wins of Shavkat? And I'll tell you the last 3 wins of Ian Gary.
All right, so I know our unfortunate Stephen Thompson is in Shavkat's most recent. Jeff Neal
and Neil Magny. All right, so let me give you this. MVP, Jeff Neal Magny.
Wow, that's like
it's almost identical.
It's a super identical last 3 wins.
Okay, so now your point is invalid. Go ahead.
Is it though? Because you could still have better performance.
Yeah, you're right.
Against those 3 people. How did Ian win those 3 fights?
Decision.
Split decision and decision. Do you know how Shavkat won those last 3 fights?
Finish. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Sub, and sub.
The Jeff Neal one was fucking bad, dude.
Shavkat's no joke.
Shavkat's no joke, dude.
Shavkat subs Ian Machado Gary.
Wow.
Yeah. Subbing him up. Who you taking? Let's see what you got. Who you got?
So, I love you, and I love all of our friends and fans, and I love the MMA community as a whole. It pains me to do this.
Oh boy.
Everything in my heart, in the sulking feeling I have in my stomach, when I don't think he's got it, I don't think I picked him versus MVP.
I think we both picked MVP.
Yeah, that's a different technique. That's a different ball game. Man, when I think about this, and I really think about it, they've sparred before, and both of them, they do that thing where it's like, I'm not going to talk about sparring, but we both know who. We both know who.
We know who won the spar. We know who was crying on the floor when I was done with him.
Oh God. Hey, I'm not here to talk about sparring, but we both know what happened.
We know what happened. They all do it.
They all do it. And it's like, if you go 100% in sparring, you're sparring wrong. And if you're judging an outcome based off of sparring, you're an idiot. That being said, to shake it up a little bit, I got the cuck. I got Ian Machado Gary by decision, mind you. I think he lasts long enough. I think he's been working on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think he finishes Shavkat. Now, on a caveat to that, I don't think Shavkat finishes him. No. 19-0 with 19 finishes? No. Is this an interim fight or no? This is not an interim fight, right?
I don't think it is. It's not.
That being said, I got Ian. Dude. The rise and fall of Ian on this show, not even his career. He's been perfect in his career. Loved him. Okay. All right. I'm bringing him back up. This is the redemption. This is the redemption on CCMMA of Ian Machado Gary.
This is a whole saga. We have the Ian Machado saga.
We have lore, dude.
We have a lore behind this guy.
And you're going against him, dude. You're picking the obvious. Dude. You're picking the obvious pick.
I am.
Good for you.
Obvious for a reason.
Good for you. Good for you, Kyle. I'm picking Ian Machado Gary.
When you lose that one, are you going to sit in the cup chair? You have to, I think.
Sure. I won't even be.
The cuck,
I won't even be on
the
screen. I'll be over here with the mic,
and in the corner. Have a stand-in, mouthing your words.
Sure.
Tell him what you want him to say.
Sure. I'll just be whispering to him the whole time.
All right, so we finally differed. We're going into the main event. Alexandre Pantoja versus the debuting Kai Asakura from one?
Rizin.
I think that's kind of exciting in its own right for me. I think it's, even though it doesn't happen a lot, and usually it's like, who is this guy? It's cool when you get like this champion from another promotion coming in to fight the champion from the UFC.
Right.
It's a cool thing.
Well, we've had this in the past with WWE and like fictional stuff.
Well, there's been a couple of instances in the UFC, hasn't there? Maybe like one or two others.
So, I don't know your jiu-jitsu game like that. You have Mikey Musumeci. He just recently stopped his contract with one championship, and now he's fighting on like the UFC Invitationals.
Okay.
He's jiu-jitsu whiz champion. The last trade that happened was Mighty Mouse versus Ben Askren.
That was a bad trade for the UFC.
Apparently, they had a little podcast about it, both of them, and they were like, yeah, I think everybody won. Because, real quick, off topic, you wouldn't have the Jorge Masvidal 5-second flying knee if it wasn't for that trade.
This is true. Jorge definitely...
He won.
He benefited off of the trade.
He came over, beat Robbie Lawler, which was, I think, bullshit. At the time, I was like, nah, it wasn't. But looking back on it now, like, he shouldn't have beat Robbie Lawler. Ben Askren. Man, it gets dicey because it's like, okay, did everybody win? DJ went over there, he got knocked out, came back, beat him, retired over there, had a great illustrious 5-year career in one FC.
He did. Did some legendary things.
I mean,
fought the Muay Thai.
The only
Rod Tang.
the mixed rules match, the WWE-esque mixed rules match, dominated him, second round finish. Rod Tang should have never been in there. Anyways.
No, he needed to get him out in one round. And
so, as far as champions coming over, Fedor Emelianenko, shout out to the legend, bro.
The Emperor, or the Last Emperor. What is it?
I think the Last Emperor.
Yeah,
but he came over and he was gonna fight Randy Couture because that was the man, and Randy Couture was ranked number 2, and he tells this on the Jackson podcast. Shout out to the Jackson podcast.
Hey.
Fuck Jackson. They denied us a sponsorship. Anyways.
Fuck you.
Our content's not good enough. Anyways, so I'll still rep their chains all day.
Hell yeah.
So Fedor, he was going to come over, but they wanted co-promote. They wanted like 50% co-promotion, and the UFC was like, are you fucking stupid? So that's the last champion they missed out on. Strikeforce champion Nick Diaz came over, and he was going to fight GSP, and then he didn't show up to a presser, like a press conference, and so they canceled that. He came over, beat the fucking dog shit out of BJ Penn, and then Carlos Condit lost against GSP or pulled out, and so then Nick Diaz fought GSP, uniting UFC and Strikeforce titles. Nick lost, obviously, because GSP, you know.
You also had Nate something from Strikeforce fight GSP shortly thereafter.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
He was a Strikeforce champion, I believe, after Diaz. Oh, Jake Shields.
Oh, Jake Shields, yeah, 100%.
Jake Shields coming over. Wasn't Matt Serra? Wasn't the Ultimate Fighter like champions from other promotions, or is that a different year? Because they had like a UFC where it's like all champions from another
all the indie circuit, indie circuit champions. Yeah. I don't know if that was Matt Serra, but I understand.
Would have been. It's something. It's close to that era, but either way, I think this is cool. I don't know much about Kai Asakura.
You don't need to know much about Rizin. to know like that they're champions. It's like overseas, over the pond, across the pond.
Over the pond.
Kai has not made 125 in 7 years.
Ooh.
I'm not saying this is going to be a difficult weight cut, but they have to over across the pond, overseas. They have to be hydrated. You cannot go up on the scale depleted. They're like, nah. We want you at your best. And that was something that DJ benefited from, I believe. But Rizin, shout out to my old coach, Justin Scoggins. Last time I heard, he got caught in a TP choke. No shade, no heat. Got caught in a TP choke over in Rizin. Still fighting across the pond overseas. More than I'll ever do in my life. But great kickboxing coach. I think that Rizin is credible. It is very credible. I just don't know if he has knockout power, yes. I don't know if he's faced the caliber of an opponent that Alexandre Pantoja is.
That's fair. Pantoja is a high caliber opponent, but he has some very clear issues in there. I think his gas tank has been problematic in all of his title fights. This could end up being a really interesting fight, not even knowing much about Kai Asakura myself.
They believe in him enough to his debut, bro. This never happens. They literally have nobody else. He could fight Brandon Moreno for a third or fourth time, whatever it is. He could have, I think all of his fights are like rematches or something like that. Brandon Royval.
Interesting.
They needed new blood.
They need some new blood at 125, but that's tough. That's a small weight class for me.
They're bringing in another promotions champion. And it's not even PFL Bellator.
No.
I got Pantoja.
I think I got... You know what?
If you change, I'm changing. If you pick Kai, I'm changing.
Why?
Because he has knockout power. He's got the ability, bro. Shout out to Rizin, dude.
I'm going for the shocking debut.
Is he an underdog?
Oh, he is. It's not super significant like Bryce Mitchell was, but he definitely was the underdog, and now I can't find the right tab.
That's fine. I got Pantoja by decision.
Mine is 285 to plus 230. So
I got Pantoja by decision. I hope Kai knocks him out. That's what my heart says, but my head says Pantoja by decision.
Going Asakura to shock the world in his UFC debut.
I hope he does. It'll be
fun. So we differ on two fights, the co-main and the main event.
Most important.
The most important fights. We're riding it through all the others. Nate, Bryce, Cyril Gane.
Right.
This should be a really fun card, top to bottom. If you're not watching it, you're missing out.
Can I talk to you about a problem that I have?
You can.
Now we rarely ever do this. There are a lot of problems with the other promotions right now. And promotions is giving them the benefit of the doubt. PFL and Bellator are now one. It is not PFL, the Professional Fighting League, and is not Bellator. It is PFL-Bellator.
It's an odd naming.
Bellator is a dumb name in my opinion in general. Where did
Bellator come from? What is that name?
I don't know. Scott Coker, former promoter of Bellator, signed on it and was like, yeah, Bellator. It's gonna sound like like Roman, like Colosseum-esque.
Bellator is a Latin word for warrior.
Oh, 100%. If you want to capture and encapsulate everything that it means to be a fighter, use a Latin term. 100%. That's just good marketing right there. So a lot of champions are coming out and they're like, hey, I haven't fought since February. Hey, I haven't had a fight in a year and a half. what's going on? What's going on? They paid Francis Ngannou $20 million. That's what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
They exhausted all cachet to sell 10,000 pay-per-views. Now they can't afford to pay the rest of their champions. You idiot. Gegard Mousasi. You think that you're going to go over... And this is the same problem that we have WWE and AEW currently. Now, I don't like to get into wrestling because not many of our... No, I'll argue. A lot of our followers...
Maybe 50-50.
Maybe 50-50. They know what's going on. You think you're going to get a better paycheck, and you might. You might get a better paycheck.
Once.
For how long?
Yeah.
Now you can't even book a fight because they can't afford to pay you on the salary that you both contractedly agreed to. And it fires me up because it's like these guys are wasting their primes over in a ghost organization who's draining money into their one guy. It's like, oh, well, if Francis Ngannou would have fought John Jones... And I'm sorry I'm going off. I'm sorry I'm ranting. You think Francis Ngannou's beating John Jones? You fucking Neanderthals. This gets me so fired up. Because
this
it's
is,
like...
Robbie Dana White.
Dude. Robbie White, dude.
Robbie White.
You think that Francis could even last longer than Serial? Maybe. He's not beating John Jones. And so everybody's like, oh, well, the last... And even Francis is tweeting about it. Like, okay, you're ducking Tom, but we should have a cross-promotion. You let!
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I had to mute my mic for a second. You left, dude.
He left.
If
you had the chance.
And never is going to have the chance again because Dana White's like, no, Francis is a fucking asshole. I hated doing business with him. Later. See you later. Sayonara. And that's such a dickhead move, but it's so cerebral because he's like, nah, as long as John Jones is here, he's number one. And you can't say otherwise because Francis is over there. All right. I'm calm, dude. I'm calm. I wanted to talk about that.
Some good old Bellator PFL drama.
Get out of here, dude. If you think it's even close. I hate that UFC is the monopoly. I hate that ONE FC DJ retired. And that's the only Mikey Musumeci is over at the UFC Invitational. Those two are the only reason anybody's watching ONE FC that don't have to. You have your diehards that watch the indie scene, that watch the other promotions. If you paid, listen, I love you all, and I love my boy Kyle. If you paid for the PFL Bellator pay-per-view,
no says I.
You have less brain cells than Bilal Muhammad. And I'm surprised I actually remembered his fucking name.
And you want to know what's bad? When you asked me about Bilal like half a show ago,
sure,
about his toe, I did forget his name. I like completely blanked on what his name was. I was like,
it was Bilal. I think it still is Bilal.
It's Bilal. The one thing that ONE FC has going for it too, though, is like maybe they don't have the best mixed martial arts in the world, but they don't just show mixed martial arts on their
correct.
Bars. They mix it up. They got jiu-jitsu matches. They've got straight up kickboxing. I'm pretty sure I was watching the other night. It was just traditional boxing, if I'm not mistaken, that was on there. So sure. You get a variety of contests on their shows, which is kind of neat in its own way.
Counterpoint: they have to.
Yeah, they have to.
They can't just sell you a straight MMA product. They have to be different. They have to be unique.
Bellator and PFL could do that and probably should do something like that, but they don't.
I mean, Chris Cyborg is talking about a boxing fight with Clarissa Shields. Say that 3 times fast. She can't even get a fight under PFL Bellator. She's got 2 fights left on her contract. You think they're going to let her box and lose against Clarissa Shields, dude?
No.
they are exactly what Dana White says. They are pissing money away, and I hate that. I really do. I don't want UFC to be the only.
Competition's good.
I don't want to be the only competition around, though.
Yeah.
But so many people have burned bridges with the UFC. They're not entertaining. They don't know how to sell a fight. They're just there to get their paycheck. Cool. My rant on PFL Bellator RIP is over. It's done, dude.
Rippuccino.
God. Oh, it's hot in here. So, first three, we're joined allegiances. We're allegiances. Last two, we differ a little bit, but that's only for the sake of entertainment, people. I gotta be different.
They're close enough too that it's like you could see either fight going potentially either way. I think.
I sang my song. for Shavkat, and I sang my song for Pantoja. I would like them to win. No, I would like Kai to win. Sorry. I would like Kai to win. We'll see. We'll see.
See what happens.
The world will be watching.
Saturday.
Are you coming over?
I believe I am.
You're always invited over. Anybody who wants to come over, leave your name, your social security card, and your address in the comments.
Information. Drop it below. We'll see if we're going to run a quick credit check on you.
Sure. Has to be over 650. You have to be over 650.
Yeah.
We can't
let one sub 500 person in.
Sure.
That's max.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Anything upcoming? Anything that you've heard in the news?
I think we covered a lot of the good MMA news and UFC news. I can't think of anything other than I mentioned it earlier. It just sounds like some rumors are floating around that Tom and John may have a fight coming up. So that's pretty big.
Hope so.
That would, like I've said, John Jones is the GOAT. But if he beats a prime Tom Aspinall in the twilight of his career, I don't think there's any catching John.
No.
In the future.
If we missed any deeper MMA news, forgive us.
We'll be back next week.
We're casuals. Show. We do have a post show.
A post show to talk about.
I think that's it, dude.
I think it's it. We love you, everybody.
From our couch to yours, we will see you when we see you.